On to the 1 p.m. Sunday games, and the Titans traveling to Chicago to face the Bears. We didn't have a full.
A lot of X's on the Chicago side.
A lot of X's on the Chicago side, but we didn't have a full Hard Knocks breakdown for you because you said it was too difficult to watch going back.
Yeah, you know what? Can we get the cam on us for a second when we talk about this? We're going to get back to this, but Mike was like, "Hey, I'm excited to talk about Hard Knocks," and I was like, "Hey, I tried to watch it with my wife, and I started crying because I love football so much. I love the Bears so much, and it's kind of like watching an ex-girlfriend that got hotter and married up. You know what I'm saying? That's the Bears, and they've got a beautiful situation right now, brand new facility. The first thing I said is these bastards didn't even have to go to training camp. They're right there at their facility. We used to go to Bourbonnais, Illinois, Kankakee. Shout out to Bourbonnais. Shout out to TJ's, our favorite watering hole. But at the end of the day, the Hard Knocks thing is really cool. It's clear to me that these guys have grown together through this media firestorm in Chicago since Caleb Williams came. But it's hard for me to watch, man. It's really hard for me to watch. And I'm sure there's a lot of players at home that enjoy Hard Knocks, but then there's a lot of players like myself who it hits a little too close to home, especially being that it's the Bears. I would say 99% of guys in the National Football League don't exit on their own accord. And yeah, that's where I'm at. I haven't watched it yet. I will watch it, I'm sure, but I'm getting ready to watch the Bears. And we're going to talk Bears-Titans here in a second.
It honestly made me, the ending scene made me nostalgic. I lived in Chicago for 1 year, made me nostalgic for Chicago, but it was a fun season. And it's fun because this Bears team is fun for the first time since, 2018?
What did you learn about the team that you haven't learned from film?
I mean, you never learn anything from Hard Knocks besides personalities.
Personalities, though. Is there any personalities stand out to you?
I liked Rome Odunze. I think he
seems like a chill dude.
Yeah. Met him when we went up there for training camp, and I'm like, that's what it takes. That guy's got star written all over him. And that's why the Bears get a tick mark for receivers. But at quarterback, I gave it to the Tennessee Titans.
This is brutally illegal.
Because he is still a rookie. Caleb Williams is still a rookie in his very first NFL start.
I get it.
Rookies drafted number 1 overall.
They don't win.
In their very first NFL start, if they start week 1, are 0-15 since 2005.
No, what happened in 2004? Who was it in 2004?
It was Eli, but he didn't. No, it wasn't Neil. It was Eli, and he didn't start.
We'll get it. We got Debo in the back in his LaShawn McCoy jersey. He'll dig that up. His team doesn't play for another 12 hours. So
head coach, I did toss up. It's when you have Brian Callahan, first-year head coach. Hard to say there, and it's obviously not like Matt Eberflus has shown much to really say he's definitely the better side in this one. Receivers, though, I'm giving to the Bears. Backfield, I'm giving to the Bears after they lose Derrick Henry in Tennessee. Tony Pollard hasn't been the same since he tore his ACL, though I like Tajay Sharp. So that one closer than maybe people might know just because he is a talented dude. Offensive line, I'm giving to the Bears. That, to me, is easily the biggest differential in this one. Bears have one of the better O-lines in the NFL. Titans have massive question marks with some youngsters starting at tackle position. We do have one of the best offensive line coaches in Bill Callahan.
I was going to say.
So we'll see how they do develop. Defensive line, Titans, easy in this one. But linebackers, secondary, both easily go to the Chicago Bears. So on the whole, Bears have the better roster, but I am worried about Caleb in his very first NFL start.
I'd argue you gave the rubber match to the head coaches. I'd say this: you're talking about rookies. Caleb Williams is a rookie, so I'll give you the give it to Levis thing. But Matt Eberflus, he earned his spot to be the head coach in Chicago with a quarterback who was not performing in Justin Fields. He had that defense, which is his group. The defense is the reason that this team was so sought after at the end of the year and played so well and kept them in football games. I'm going to give the tick to the head coach, Matt Eberflus. I like your breakdown there. I do. And I think that the defensive line stuff, and we're going to talk about this matchup here shortly with the Bears O-line and that Tennessee D-line, but you got to think about the young rushers in Chicago and also Montez Sweat. It's a styles make fights type of game. What are the tackles going to do to respond against the rushers from Chicago and the interior offensive line of the Chicago Bears taking on the Titans?
Yeah, I do think that, to go back, the Titans offense tackles is where this game gets decided. Does Bill Callahan, offensive line coach, does he have them up to snuff?
Does he have a plan?
Does he have a plan for them? Because you don't want Nicholas Petit-Frere going one-on-one against Montez Sweat. I mean, it's not going to end well, flat out. It won't. So to limit that as much as possible, to what they can do offensively. And it's not like, though, Brian Callahan has had to deal with the best offensive lines ever in Cincinnati, right? Like, he's had to scheme around those sorts of things. You saw in the preseason where Will Levis was on a screen play action tear. I think that's all he did in the 2 preseason games he showed up in. So from that perspective, I think
they're like, how do we utilize offensive tackles that don't block? Incorporate plays where they pretend to block the end.
Block. Exactly. Just as many of those as possible. And I think you'll see that. And that's why I think this game, while 4.5 points, I think it ends up closer than that, just because it's one's a rookie quarterback and the other one's really going.
It'll be a 2-minute drive for sure. It'll be a 2-minute drive and a field goal either way.
So I'm not sure I have a hard take on anyone who's going to win this, but I think 4.5 is too much for me.
I think if I'm going to be honest with the Bears fans for a second, I'll say this: yes, we have an awesome team. We have a fun team. We woke up excited this morning and this week, this whole offseason because of what we have in front of us. But when it comes time for game day, I want you to understand that football is a very hard game, and they get paid too. And when Caleb Williams is trying to settle in as a rookie quarterback in these first few drives, remember they were 3-and-out, 3-and-out, 3-and-out in the last time we saw Caleb Williams before he went and put on that highlight clinic. So things could start slow. Pay attention to the interior of that offensive line going against the interior of that Tennessee Titans D-line. Jeffrey Simmons is as good as anybody. He's not quite Chris Jones, but he is a bully. He's a bull in a china shop. And for Caleb Williams, it's going to be front and center in his vision. He's going to have that dude breathing down his neck the whole day. It's going to be, how are we going to get off the spot and maintain our eyes down the field? How are we going to remain confident and comfortable? And if they do get an opportunity to throw 3 hands on Jeffrey Simmons or 4 hands, then I need to see Caleb Williams look comfortable when he does have a clean dish, because there's going to be plays where he breaks through Jeffrey and there's going to be plays where he doesn't. And I don't want Caleb's reaction on the play that he broke through to bleed into the one where it's a clean pocket, because that'll provide this offense a lot of spark. You'll get to see Odunze down the field. You'll get to see Keenan Allen running the option routes. You'll get to see DJ Moore bullying guys and just being an absolute freak show. That's what I can't wait to see. Do they have a plan up front for this Tennessee interior D-line?
Either way, I think it's just an awesome litmus test for Caleb Williams and the Bears, right? Like, it's now, obviously guys can improve throughout the season, but if Caleb Williams comes out and looks good against this defense, because it's a solid defense, and it's solid in the ways that are tough for a rookie quarterback, in that they can get interior pressure. And that's something that he really struggled with at USC. I was at the Notre Dame game last year where they were getting interior pressure and he just went in the tank. That's something that the Tennessee Titans can provide. And they can press on the outside. They have physical corners that can disrupt timing. How is he going to deal with that as well? Because the biggest thing we wanted to see from him coming from USC was getting past his first read on time. And so those 2 things, if he's hot in this game, expect a big year from this Bears team. If he struggles, I'm not writing him off by any means.
He's a rookie. Remember that.
He's a rookie.
Do not boo, Bears fans. Do not boo. I've seen it one too many times. Okay. Do not boo this kid. This is your Mandalorian baby. Okay. Like, take care of the Mando baby. And for the Bears defense, all these playmakers, in the front 7 and then on the back end. What does Will Levis like to do? He likes to throw that ball downtown Julie Brown, right?
He'll throw it even when he's not supposed to.
So when you're throwing downtown Julie Brown, you got to pat the ball a little bit back there, and you got to let the play develop. Eberflus, his defensive staff, they like to do these external pressures. They like to bring guys from the second level and down. And
Kyler Gordon's as good as it gets.
Kyler Gordon is going to be all over the football field against the Tennessee Titans. Watch it here. He's obviously a big fan of him. We know him in Chicago, but yeah, that's going to be the tail of the tape. Late ad pressures, so the offensive line, we see 4 down linemen. We make our protection. Boom, boom, boom. Center's going to go left. Guard and tackle are on the end in the 3 technique. Okay, baby, this is vanilla. Blah, 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 blah. Kyler Gordon. That's going to be what we're going to see. The late ad pressures, maybe some simulated pressures. It'll be fun to watch.
Fun to watch for sure. And I assume you're going Bears.
I'm going Bears.
It's going Bears.